If we kill death so nobody can die, did death really die? Greetings Nerd Squad and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host Connor Monroe, and I was gonna walk into a bank to ask about life insurance, but after I did, I coughed, so I just left. Comics have a trope for killing off heroes just to bring them back a few issues later. Which of the supers that we know, or maybe don't know, can't be defeated by the peasant's word known as death? That's what we're exploring with today's list of the top 10 scary superheroes who can't die. Be sure you're subscribed if you haven't yet, because we have daily nerdy content for you to digest and binge while you self-isolate. But I mean, we all did that anyway, right? Now, let's get started. In at 10, Squirrel Girl. There are two types of people in this world, those who have heard of Squirrel Girl and those who don't know what true happiness really is. Suffering a modification in her genes for unknown reasons, Doreen Green gained squirrel-like abilities, most obviously in the form of a prehensile tail, but she was somehow not a mutant. She realized she could communicate with squirrels when she overheard one in her window. She saved it from being chased by a dog and they ultimately became friends. That squirrel encouraged her to use her powers to help people, but he also called himself Monkey Joe, so I don't know if he was a comedian or just stupid. Her first appearance was in Marvel's Superheroes Volume 2 number 8 in 1991 alongside Iron Man, but only really got traction in the 21st century when fans went nuts for her. Get it? Nuts for her? Because she's a squirrel girl. Well anyway, due to her popularity and wholesome nature, there isn't really gonna be an opportunity for her to get killed off, especially when she's gone up against Galactus, Thanos, and Dr. Doom without a scratch. Unless we believe Rick and Morty, which says that if you overhear squirrels you're gonna have to leave the whole dimension. So I think that's really the scary part. She's probably in cahoots with the squirrels, toppling nations. You know. In at 9, HEADPOOL. On Earth 2149, the reality was similar to that of the 616 universe we are familiar with only a few differences. One of them being Steve Rogers was Colonel America, and one of them being a literal zombie plague that turned all superheroes into zombies. Fairly topical if you ask me. Well, the Deadpool of this universe has another thing coming, since after a fight with the Silver Surfer, he was brought to Earth 616, where he took out Jennifer Kale's magic. He was thought to have been killed when he got lured into the blades of a nearby skiff, completely obliterating him. But since he was the only one with the virus on this Earth, he was contained by armor. Deadpool was now only a head, but still managed to escape Armor HQ with the help of Simon Garth. HEADPOOL is basically just zombie Deadpool's head, and the fact that this exists is so Deadpool it hurts. And the fact that he didn't die when reduced to only a head is something that would literally kill almost anyone else is proof enough that HEADPOOL cannot be killed. The merc with half a mouth is still hopping around and gonna bust the cap in your ass because it's the only thing he can reach with the gun. Pretty funny, but still scary since, you know, it's a thing. It's a zombie head. Jeez. And it ain't Lobo. Let's face it, Lobo is one pretty scary looking dude. Well, first he was introduced as a villain in the 80s, he was revived as an anti-hero in the early 90s after his creators forgot about him. How can you forget about him? Lobo is one crazy bounty hunter, with muscles that are more ripped than my homework every time I told my teachers that my dog had eaten it. I didn't have a dog. And with the attitude and outfit to match. I think the scariest part about him though is just the hair. He even ended up joining the new Justice League at one point, becoming one of its founding members. Lobo probably has one of the coolest power sets. While it may not be super speed or the power of the gods, he can shake off blows from even Superman, taking planet-destroying attacks without a scratch. But he is also banned from entering both heaven and hell, making him functionally immortal. If you aren't allowed to enter the afterlife, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to even get the chance to. And honestly, I'm already banned from entering one of them, so all I need is the other one to hate me and I'm golden. I'll be in the same boat as Lobo. Just wish I had those muscles though. And at 7, the Eternal Warrior. Being named such because he existed prior to recorded history, the Eternal Warrior is one of 3 brothers who are also as ancient as my 12th grade contact teacher. Boom! I haven't let it go. He has defended Earth for thousands of years and has acquired a millennia of military knowledge, and more than just that, he has seen history unfold. Other than being immortal, he possesses increased strength, agility, incredible durability, and an incredibly impressive healing factor that allowed him to survive nuclear fallout. Within the Valiant universe that he was written into, there is no known way of killing him. He is sworn to protect the Geomancers to ensure their survival. These people have a special bond with the Earth, and there must always be one alive to protect it and speak for it. In more ways than one, the Eternal Warrior is the protector of Earth more than Hal Jordan or any other hero. As long as the planet exists, the Eternal Warrior will as well, which is pretty dope. When only the inevitable heat death of the universe can kill you? I'd take that. And at 6, Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze agrees to give his soul to the devil in order to save his father's life. Because of this, at night, when he is around evil, he becomes surrounded in literal hellfire and his head becomes a fiery skull. First appearing in Marvel Spotlight number 5, Ghost Rider rides a fiery motorcycle and can launch blasts of hellfire from his typically skeletal hands. There have been many incarnations of Ghost Rider over the years, notably Johnny Blaze, Noble Kane, Danny Ketch, and Robbie Reyes. The fact that there will never not be a Ghost Rider serves as more of a permanent way of not being able to die, but that's in spirit. The whole making a deal with the devil and becoming a literal hellfire demon when around evil thing helps too, and is probably more along the lines of what was expected for this list, especially because who doesn't want to ride a motorcycle that cool? I remember in high school I wanted to get my motorcycle license instead of my driver's license since I could drive a motorcycle by myself faster than a car, but my mom wouldn't let me. Well, look at me now, Mom. On my own and unable to afford the test or even a damn motorcycle. Halfway through number 5, the Hulk. The Hulk is one bad mamma jamma, and the fact that he is made from radiation should remind you that there is no way of killing this guy. Bruce himself even said in the first Avengers movie he tried to kill himself as Bruce, but Hulk spit the bullet out. This is even further solidified by the Future Imperfect storyline, when Hulk is brought 100 years into the future and sees himself, still alive even after a nuclear war that had killed almost all of Earth's superhumans. This war, by the way, had also taken the world to the brink of extinction, meaning Hulk, or Maestro as he was known then, was one of the only remaining souls in existence. But I guess technically that can be said about all of us, even right now. This, in combination with Maestro absorbing the radiation from the nukes, giving him increased strength, proves to be too much for Professor Hulk. Maestro is only able to be destroyed by the same bomb that created the Hulk in the first place, which is honestly understandable, like when your parents say, I brought you into this world, I can take you out, even though they legally can't, but that's aside the point. If you can only be destroyed by the thing that created you, you will never be able to be destroyed again, unless time travel is possible, in which case this was, so. Yeah. And at 4, the Spectre. The Spectre is an entity who needs to bind itself to the soul of a human being. However, the human who becomes the Spectre must already be dead, which may defeat the purposes of this list if you think about it, but I'm talking about the Spectre itself, not the person it inhabits, so apples and oranges. The Spectre is omnipotent and immortal, having powers over reality, interdimensional travel, technically resurrection, and increasing to infinite size and a lot more that honestly doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But in honesty, it's comics. Not making sense makes it make sense. Just like that sentence. The Spectre has had many hosts over the years, Jim Corrigan, Crispus Allen, Hal Jordan, and Oliver Queen to name a few. The latter being in the CW's Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, where while Oliver Queen might have died, the Spectre itself is impossible to destroy, making him probably the most powerful being in the DC universe. I kinda wanna be the Spectre, that green cloak's kinda bomb. Not gonna lie. And at 3, Franklin Richards. Hey, it's Franklin. Franklin Richards is one powerful kiddo, like the son of a Karen who stepped on a Lego with a full shoe on, but who's crying because he broke the Lego powerful. The mutant son of Sue Storm and Reed Richards is one of the most powerful beings in Marvel canon. This Omega level mutant possesses the ability to completely alter reality, and that in a way makes him immortal. Having complete control over the fundamental forces of the universe is a pretty big power to have when you're a toddler who just wants chicky nugs and choco milk. His powers even allowing him to perceive future events. Sure, you could just push him out a window after you climbed up a tower, but hell, he'll just come back in a wheelchair and become king later on. What I'm saying with that analogy that is as good as the ending is that he would see it coming, and could just alter life so that it would never happen. Plus, he can travel through time. This kid can make a pocket universe under his bed sheets while he should be sleeping. The laws of reality don't apply to this kid, so you will never be able to kill him. He's just too damn powerful. He is literally God. And at 2, everyone on Earth 10011. Earth 10011 is also known as the Cancerverse, an Earth whose history is identical to that of the main Earth 616, but with the Avatar of Death being destroyed when Mar-Vell was on his deathbed. Using a ritual known as necropsy, they eliminated the Avatar of Death, making it impossible for anyone to ever die on this Earth. However, this doesn't mean that you stay in your prime forever. No, the Avatar of Aging, if that's even a thing, is still kicking, and you're gonna have more wrinkles than a Kardashian before she goes to see Dr. Fix Me Up. Death is literally dead. There is no way you can die on this Earth. That is all I can say about this. And that just proves my point. I wanted this to be number 1, but there is something more current that I feel will make more sense in this context. But like after this whole thing has died out, no pun intended, I guess it won't really make more sense. Whatever. Finally, in at number 1, LEEZLE Pond. LEEZLE Pawn is one of the more obscure members of the Green Lantern Corps. I'd say honestly one of the most obscure. And while LEEZLE may not be able to be killed, the reasoning requires some explanation. LEEZLE Pawn is a smallpox virus, being microscopic yet sentient and capable enough to wield the Green Lantern ring. It goes on missions that other Green Lanterns can't undertake, be it physically or biologically. To be honest, LEEZLE has played an integral role in various Lantern events, like in the Sinestro Corps War, where he helped to save Guy Gardner's life by defeating Sinestro's virus. LEEZLE cannot be killed because he's a virus, and technically a virus is not a living organism. Viruses are defined as organisms on the edge of life, since they defy all standard definitions of being alive. So while they're almost alive, they're not, and therefore cannot be killed in the same way. It can be destroyed, but it can't be killed, because technically it was never really alive. And I figured a virus was pretty topical for this list, so there you go. It might be cheating, but I don't care. You're welcome. There we have it, friends, the top 10 scary superheroes who can't die. What did you think of this list, and what are your thoughts on defeating the Avatar of Death with me? I'm okay with purple decaying flesh. Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily nerdy content, and ring that bell so you know when we upload. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Shaw Remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.